Captain, we've recorded abnormal signals of an unknown entity within 1,000 feet of the ship. Wait.
Director of Health and Safety, Tony Lopez. This is a difficult, and it was a difficult and violent weekend in our city. It is unacceptable, period. No community should have to endure the level of gun violence we witnessed over the past 48 hours. First and foremost, our hearts are with the victims, their families, our officers, and anyone impacted by this weekend's violence. Their pain is why we do this work, and we cannot accept this behavior as normal. In one incident, 7 people were shot for reasons that we are still not clear on yet. But according to witnesses, one man grabbed a handgun from the waist of another man and began shooting. The man whose gun was taken pulled a second weapon and shot that person, and a third yet unidentified person may have shot him. 5 innocent bystanders were caught in that crossfire, and 2 of the shooters are dead. Still a lot to understand about this incident, but nothing in our minds can make any kind of rational sense of it. Absolutely senseless. Just hours earlier, our officers faced a separate, extremely dangerous situation. They responded to a man armed with a gun inside a business and making threats. During that encounter, the suspect attacked our officers, fired a shot at them, and in a split second, our officers were forced to make a decision to defend themselves and our community. Thankfully, no one was hit by gunfire, but this incident underscores both the risk our officers face every day and the courage they bring to these unpredictable situations. IMPD officers and detectives have been working around the clock to identify those responsible for these incidents and bring them to justice. I want to take a moment to thank them for the work that they do, our officers, detectives, and professional staff who responded quickly, placed themselves in danger, and continually to work tirelessly to protect our community. I'll give you a few case updates. The information I've provided already and that I'm about to provide is still preliminary and subject to change as the investigations move forward. We've made 5 arrests in 4 incidents, including the officer-involved shooting. 2400 East 38th Street was the officer-involved shooting. No one shot during that incident. 34-year-old suspect Brian Edwards arrested for attempted murder and battery on a public safety official. 1500 Ritter, Community East Hospital, 2 14-year-olds showed up at that location, shot. Accompanying them were 2 16-year-olds who fled from hospital police. After a short chase, they were arrested. Both of them were arrested for dangerous possession of a firearm, possession of a machine gun. They had handguns with machine gun devices on the back. 3300 Ruckle Street. This is right now being investigated as a self-defense shooting. 33-year-old male was shot after threatening a person and trying to break into a house. He was shot by a person claiming self-defense. The 33-year-old suspect, Rakeez Ross, was arrested for intimidation and attempted residential entry. 5620 Georgetown Road, 3 persons shot. 3 victims were shot while attending a car meetup in the area of 56 in Georgetown. There was some sort of disturbance. Shots were fired by the suspect, hitting at least 3 people. The vehicle that suspect fled the scene. A pursuit ensued by our officers. The suspect, Carlos Contreras, crashed his vehicle a short distance from the shooting and was taken into custody. A search warrant on his vehicle was served, and a handgun equipped with another machine gun conversion device was seized from that vehicle.
Wow, looks pretty crazy down there. 18 shot, I think they said. Yeah, that's crazy. You might want to bring someone in that could clean that up down there or whatever. That's just crazy. Folks, we actually got a break in the rain. the past 3 days, I think, or something like that, 4 days. And we actually got some sun today. They're out there cutting the grass right now. So, yeah, pretty crazy. Let's continue to listen.
That 21-year-old was arrested for felony criminal recklessness, felony resisting law enforcement, and felony possession of a machine gun. Detectives are still working to get additional video and file additional charges over the next couple weeks. And I briefly talked about 6800 Shore Terrace Drive. That's the 7-person shot outside of a nightclub. 2 were killed on the scene. 3 victims were taken to the hospital. I don't have an update on any of the surviving victims' conditions at this point. 1 person self-transported to the hospital. 1 person showed up at a fire station. And like the other case, they're still viewing and looking at additional video footage and waiting to speak and take statements from the individuals that were shot to find out exactly what happened in that case. All the other cases are still under investigation. I want to be clear. Guns are not the solution to anything. When someone chooses to bring a firearm into a conflict, that decision carries consequences, often tragic ones. Each one of us must take responsibility for the choices we make, because those choices can cost lives, including your own. Despite this violence, IMPD remains focused and determined. We are targeting the most violent people in our community, the people, places, and behaviors driving violent crime. Our officers will continue to do our part to impact violent crime and hold those accountable. But I want the community to hear this. Your life is worth more than a moment of anger. Your neighbor's life is worth more than that. Please walk away instead of doing something that will change your life forever. And enforcement is not enough. We continue to
Well, I'm confused here, right? They want people to walk away. Well, we've been walking away for 50 years. We've been walking away from it. It ain't getting us justice. It's letting these people get away with whatever they do and to continue to do what they do. And that's dig into our pockets and try and kill us. So, yeah, if you can turn the cheek and walk away, yeah, but how much money are they ripping us off from? What else are they doing? Kind of makes you wonder, right? I mean, you're probably going to have to bring, it's obvious it's all corrupt in Indiana. They've been saying that for many years. You might have to bring in the military or whatever. Pretty crazy, if you ask me.
invest in community-based prevention programs, youth outreach, and partnerships aimed at breaking the cycle of violence before shots are fired. If you own a gun, secure it. If you know of some conflict brewing, reach out to us or one of our community partners before it turns violent. This weekend is a setback, but it does not define.
Well, there you go again. Right? Reach out to the police, but people have, right? And we know exactly what the police's answer is. Well, it sounds like a civil thing in court or something. And it never goes any further than that in Indiana because it's been hijacked or whatever by some great white race club or biker club or something. So yeah, I mean they're saying that's all over the. What do I think? I think it's over. America is over, and the people that hold the debt that America borrowed money from own America now. And people just don't want to understand that it's not America. anymore. It's sad, it is. But that's what happens when you let a country uh, have too many freedoms. And now they're more of a killing machine than anything else. Right? Society has become a killing machine. And the youth today is unreal. We have no idea who's raising. It's obvious the streets are raising these people or whatever because they're killing everybody. You know? And then you got the federal government and Trump saying, well, they're all corrupt. Well, who do you believe? Is America corrupt? Is it over with? I would imagine so. It probably is.
Our city. We are confronting violent crime every day.
The enemy is coming.
With a focus on enforcement, data-driven policing, and community partnerships that are making a difference. But public safety is a shared responsibility, and we need your help. If you witnessed any of these incidents over the past few days or know anything about them, please come forward. Call Crime Stoppers at 317-262-TIPS. You can remain anonymous, and your information could save a life. Choose to be part of the solution.
Well, sir, I agree 100% with you. But when this group of corrupt police, supposedly sheriffs, whatever, whoever, and these people know these people, justice is not served. Why? Well, because the police are siding with the people they know or are affiliated with, or, possibly, sir, might belong to the same Masonic lodge as some of these criminals. So, us citizens are doing what we can. You want help, locking up the bad guy, but we bring you the bad guy, and they're like, oh, well, he's one of our lodge brothers, so let him go. Oh, he belongs to the club, the MC club, so yeah, nothing gets done. This is why military's coming in. The people's military, not everyone, the federal government's got. No, this is a military that's being assembled right now out of the country and going to be brought into America. And that's because we can't get justice. These people don't want us to have nothing, no health care, no, they're stealing inheritance. They're doing whatever they can. They're not covering people with, they're making people sell their houses and cars and everything just to get on this stupid program that they have in Indiana. And these people lost money. They're telling people to break the laws and put your property and your homes and everything else in someone else's name so you can get on their program. People are losing money, and the government's, a lot of people lost their homes in Indiana deliberately because people were attacking them, calling them, driving them crazy. And they couldn't make the payments on their homes because they were wrapped up in this balloon mortgage crap. And it went crazy. And people lost their, and they had enough gall to say, well, what are you going to do? Right? There's nothing you could do because you're broke. You got nothing. And they know that. They know it. Right? When I first got on disability, they're like, oh, well, you're going to be getting eyeglasses and your first, if you need teeth or something like that, you'll get that. And that never happened, folks. Yeah, we went there. We paid for it, but we never received anything. It's all a scam. It's even a scam in these areas up here up north. And they're tracking it to these clubs and gangs that have affiliations with politicians and mayors and police. So, yeah, someone got a new set of teeth. Wasn't me. Right? Somebody got eyeglasses. Wasn't me. Of course, they used my name, but it wasn't me. Yeah. And you can smack the government right in the face and say, here's the bad guys. Look at. And they're, oh, well, that's Uncle Joe from down there. So, yeah, nothing. It sounds like a civil thing. And you got no money. You don't want to go into the corrupt courts that President Trump and everyone else is saying, well, the whole system's corrupt. You're not going to win. You might if you got millions to go through court. All a scam. Witchery, sorcery, magic. Light it up. Light it up. Light the whole country up.
And Indianapolis is stronger when we work together to solve these issues.
What about the Indianapolis? What about the let's talk about something, Indianapolis. What about the hospital down there that people went to go get operations on and they came out worse than what they went in? Did you arrest any of them? No, you didn't, did you? That was one of the biggest cover-ups, they're saying. Right? That's why people are leaving the country to go get operated on in other countries, because they're within your own hospitals.
I'm going to be brief with my comments and conversations.
Oh, please do.
But
Please do.
tragedy has hit our city yet again. This is not
Nothing
something that our community wants to see or be affected by. Trying to enjoy yourselves at night and in our community is something that should be allowed, and we are being affected by gun violence. We're being affected by conflict not being resolved in the right ways. The Office of Public Health and Safety, along with all our partners that we work with, are dedicated to continue the efforts and the processes that we put in place to work with individuals to mediate conflicts through our Conflict Resolution Center, to work with individuals, youth and adults, when it comes to crime prevention and working with individuals that want to drive gun violence in our city. We're going to continue our efforts. We're going to continue our efforts to hit the root causes and try and work on those root causes to help individuals have the right avenues and the right outlets to solve the issues that are happening here in our city versus picking up a gun. This is not the way to resolve issues. We want to keep everybody in our community safe. We want to keep them here, and we're going to do all our efforts to make that happen. This tragic issue, this tragic incidents that we've had over this weekend, it hurts, right? It hurts. We're losing individuals in our city, young and old. And we're going to keep our hope alive to keep pushing through.
And the American citizen is going to keep doing what they're doing, hunting these witches, warlocks, and witchery people. It ain't going to stop, America. You just can't get it through your heads. It's over with. America's going to be probably sucked up. We're already dividing the country up. They don't know nothing no more. It's a mess, right? You allowed this witchery, sorcery crap in our country and corruption to go on so long that it's over with. Done. Finito. Over. You ain't got enough manpower to do the job. You ain't got enough manpower to rebuild. I'm telling you that. Why? Because not unless you're going to force people into hard labor, which would be called slavery. You don't have the manpower anymore to rebuild America. You don't have it. A lot of people are leaving, and you don't have the manpower to rebuild America and its infrastructures, because these people are smart now. They don't want to do hard labor. Right? You'd have to pay them outrageous money to get back into the trade. Trades are a dying breed. It's a dying breed. There ain't very many tradesmen left. Where are you going to go? The younger generation don't want to work for nothing, Trump. They don't want to get their hands dirty. Right? They don't want to. You ain't got the manpower. They're all becoming lawyers, doctors, cat drafters, anything, where they don't have to do hard labor. It's all brain work and everything. You just ain't got the manpower. I don't know how many. Even the military is saying the same thing. They just don't have it. You would have to use the military as your builders, your laborers, because you just don't have the workforce anymore to rebuild America. I'm not going to deny it to the American people. That's not my job to lie. They don't have the power, folks. Trump knows it. They all know it. Well, they would have to use the military engineering people to come in and start rebuilding roads and everything. And why do you think it takes so long to rebuild roads? Because they don't have the manpower. They don't have the manpower no more. Nobody wants to do hard labor anymore. And I don't blame them. I did it myself for many years. It takes a toll on your body. Construction will take a toll on your body after so long. That's pretty crazy. I don't know. I just don't think they have it no more. Right? If you talk to the kids today, the teenagers and stuff today, they're all working at stores where it ain't hard labor. Well, most of them live with their parents still, so they don't need to move out, right? Their families are letting them stay at home. It's just too hard. It's too hard to make a living anymore in America. Greatest country in the world, and you need 20 jobs. Well, you're not a man if you don't have 20 jobs. These people are using you folks as slaves, as guinea pigs, to do their work that they destroyed. 30 years they were telling the government, we got to start rebuilding. You got to start building houses and building roads but the cost is so much of housing. No one wants to buy a $500,000 home when they're working at McDonald's or working at a gas station. It's maybe in 10 years, 20, if they started now, maybe 10 years, 20 years. But, you have to take in consideration, too, the laws and the bills that were passed before Trump even got in there are taking effect now. It's just crazy. It's crazy. How did this happen? Magic, witchery, sorcery. The oldest trick in the book. The devil's oldest trick. Yeah. Lies and all kinds of stuff. You all sold your souls to the devil. And now the only thing left to do is America's over with. You don't even run America. Other countries run America. We're not even talking to the United States government anymore. If we want anything done, we're calling Russia, Israel, Japan, China, India. We're calling all these other countries because you just can't get nothing done. We're calling Germany. We're calling all these other countries to get stuff done here because it's just unbelievable.
And to keep trying to make a difference in the city, to try and keep all of our community members safe in the city.
right. Any questions?
You spoke briefly about the 7 people shot. You described the 2 victims that deceased as shooters. So, how many shooters do we think there were? And were the 2 victims that deceased at that scene, were they active involved in shooting?
According to the detectives and preliminarily, yes, both of the 2 deceased were shooters. And then there's potentially a third person that has yet to be identified.
This is what the world's most advanced PC looks like.
Is that third person in custody?
No, it's yet to be identified. Yeah, we don't know who that is.
You mentioned this is a setback for our community. Homicide numbers are down, right?
Yes,
far for the
every
year.
every single crime category is down, and it's trending down over the last 5 years. So still have a lot of work to do. Like I said, anytime we lose someone in our community, it's something we don't want to happen.
Well, I know they found over 4,000 bones down south there in Indiana somewhere. And they think it was some kind of a burial place for these clubs or gangs or some serial killers that were dumping bodies. I don't know. So maybe them serial killers or clubs or whatever they were saying have stopped killing because someone got too close to them or whatever. But, they're saying crime's gone down in Indiana the past 5 years. It's so, well, that's about how long it's been since they found that burial down there with 4,000 bones in it or whatever, 5,000 bones. So, yeah, was it the Odins? Was it the Secret Masons? Was it, biker club? Was it gangs? Was it, who knows? It was the devil. That's what I would say. Well, you can bring him the bad guy, but they're gonna. Oh, well, he's one of the lodge guys. Oh, he belongs to our church, so no, they ain't gonna get no justice. That's horrible. No, like I said, folks, a lot of people are getting out of America right now, buying properties in other countries just to get away in case it goes crazy, and I don't blame them one bit. Not one bit. You're not going to find anybody. Hell, you can't even go to the doctor anymore without these people talking about whatever your problem is to other people on the streets. I guess that's why they're telling people, well, you need to go to another town or another state to get looked at because these people around here will tell you what's wrong with. Well, we already know what is wrong with everybody in America. It's called contamination. Yeah, pretty crazy. All right, folks, we're going to let this go for a couple more minutes, and then I'm going to end this video.
And these are human beings, and they're not numbers. We'll keep doing our part. This is a community problem. Community members have to make better decisions. I think I've said it multiple times. We've spent the last 5 years talking about police reform and law enforcement reform. What's government doing? What is the community doing to reform itself? They're making these decisions. There are people making decisions, bad ones, every single day that are costing lives and changing lives forever. And until those individuals choose to take a different path, we will continue to see these things. Heat of the moment arguments are not easy for law enforcement to interrupt or to stop. Those people that make themselves known to us through their behavior are the folks we're targeting. But 3 o'clock in the morning with booze and easy access to weapons and a hot temper and no skills whatsoever to deal with the conflict are things that happen in the heat of the moment. And unless we know it's going to happen right then and there, it's hard for us to intervene and stop it. Those are decisions that community members are making.
Yeah, well, he's right about that. I have to agree with this sheriff. Right? I have to agree with him. You got alcohol, you got booze, drugs, and weapons. Bad thing. Very bad thing. And then throw on witchery, sorcery that these people supposedly are practicing within the woods or whatever. Pretty crazy, if you ask me. All right, folks, we're at 30 minutes. Go ahead and check this out. I posted JLR's channel in his chat, 18 shot in Indiana last night. So hunker down. Hopefully we get some weather up here. And that might knock down the it gets cold. I ain't going outside. People ain't going to be going outside. Maybe. But then we might see a raise in indoor violence. We don't know. You folks have a great day. I'll be back here shortly. God bless everyone. All glory goes to God today. Thank you for another day, Lord. Heal us all in Jesus' name and shelter us from the madness. Amen.